Hello, welcome back for another YouTube video. It's been a while, I know that I've been putting a lot of focus on my Instagram here lately, but I decided that I wanted to come back onto YouTube and start filming videos for this page as well. And a topic that has been sitting on my mind a lot recently, especially since I've been working with a lot of different clients and trying to help them move towards their goal, is uncovering the reason why something that is so clear to you, like you have a super clear goal, but for some reason you're still unable to reach it or achieve it or move towards it. And the reason I wanted to talk about this topic is I think so often we create something to hyper focus on, or something to really say, okay, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And in that, I think sometimes we ignore some of the things that are holding us back or are conflicting with our vision or goal that we have for ourselves. And to kind of give an example so that you kind of understand what I'm talking about, a lot of people want to help people. So let's say that someone is brought up in an environment where them wanting to help people brings them to the conclusion that becoming a doctor will be the reason or the way that they can help people. And they are like, you know what? I want to become a doctor because it's a way to help people. But on their journey, they start to run into a lot of conflicts, and they're like, why am I struggling so hard to get to this goal? And I think the reason behind it is there's probably a lot of other things going on in the background that you don't realize. Maybe you chose being a doctor because there were other reasons attached to it as well, because there are so many different ways that we can help people. Being a doctor is just one of those that may have a couple other strings attached to it. So say you also chose becoming a doctor because it would make your family proud, or it would give you financial stability. So those are also two things that are kind of pulling you towards this goal. You really hyper focus on the fact that I want to become a doctor because it's a way for me to help people. It's the best way for me to help people. But you just keep running into these blocks, and maybe it's because maybe the doctor part is more so you wanting to please your parents or you wanting to feel financially secure, and less about wanting to help people. Maybe your way of helping people may be different than becoming a doctor, but because you're so hyper focused on the idea and thought that being a doctor is the only way that you can help people, you kind of feel stuck. You're confused as to why. I have a clear vision. I have the plan. Why are things not aligning? Why are things conflicting and not working out for me? And it might be because you just haven't taken a deep dive yet into your whys. I think it's really important, and this is something that I lead a lot of my clients through when I'm working with them, to help them understand that there may be some self-sabotage going on. There may be some things that are pulling you in two different directions, and it kind of leaves you in a position where it's like, I can't do this. I can't do both. I can't get towards my goal and have what I want. When you start asking questions of why, so, okay, we've now determined that you want to help people. And why is that? Because I want to live a life of service, because I believe we should all be helping people. But then we ask more whys and we find out, well, it's something that my parents told me I should become. It's because my parents wanted to pay for my college and they wanted to pay for me to become a doctor. All of these small little things start coming out. And the more whys you ask, the more you understand, okay, this is why I'm struggling. A lot of times it comes down to survival. It comes down to pleasing other people. It comes down to selfishness. So say you want to become a doctor, and that means you have to move to a different city. Maybe you choose a city that's extremely expensive. So the thought of even doing anything other than being a doctor is off the board because it's too expensive to live in the city. So thinking about an income of working in social work or something else that doesn't pay as much as becoming a doctor, it kind of throws you off and you're like, well, I can't do any of those things because I have to be able to afford living here. So then at that point, you want to ask yourself, why did you choose this city? Are there other cities that you could choose that are more affordable? Are there spaces that you could put yourself in that would be better for you? And then you have to dive into the questions of, why do I need these things? So sometimes it's travel. People want money so that they can travel. Why do you want to travel? To see new things, okay? Can you see new things without traveling to extravagant places? Yes. Is it the extravagant places that you want to travel to? Why? And you just keep going into these deeper understandings, because a lot of times when you get down to the root of it, you start to realize that your why exists in some really, really bare minimum things. And those are things that you can accomplish usually through other things. So maybe you have a lot more joy in public speaking. Maybe there's more joy in art. And your brain is so tied to the fact that being a doctor is the only way that you can help people, support yourself, and live a stable life and do the things that society has told us that we should be able to do or we should want to do. I have worked with so many people who just come to me with like this clear vision of who they want to be. And they're like, I have no idea. And then we start unpacking their whys, and then it almost confuses them more, because they're like, I came to you so sure of who I want it to be, and now after a couple of sessions with you, I'm more confused than ever. And that's because most of the time we're following someone else's lead. Someone is telling us this is what you should be doing. Society is saying this is what someone in your age, your gender, your nationality should be doing. It's so easy to fall in line and start following these things that are being laid before us, because they're telling us there's a clear path and there's guaranteed success, guaranteed happiness, guaranteed whatever you're chasing. They're guaranteeing it if you follow these things that they're laying in front of you. But a lot of times, the thing that you want most is not the thing that you're chasing. And a lot of times you can be led down such a long road and get to the end and feel lost or stuck or conflicted. The purpose of really knowing yourself and understanding yourself on a deeper level, which isn't easy, because honestly, having deep conversations with people is not something a lot of people are comfortable with. So a lot of us don't have opportunities to take a deeper dive into our thoughts and feelings and things that we believe. When you do start to do that, you really start to realize, wow, I didn't really want to become a doctor. I really wanted to just be able to travel the world and meet new people and be able to help people. It's interesting because if we take a deep dive into my childhood and the things that I wanted to be able to help people and provide wealth to people who didn't have wealth. My vision of that was I needed to become a famous singer or a famous actor, because in my small world that I lived in, those were the ideal people that had money, that were able to provide help to the people who needed it. Like I saw like Britney Spears or NSYNC donating huge amounts of money to people with cancer or schools that needed books. And in my mind, I wanted to be able to do that for people. The route that I thought I had to take was become a famous singer or a famous actor. As I became older and started unpacking all of that, I realized that the root cause of what I really wanted to do was helping people. And on my journey of self-discovery and self-reflection and everything else that I did to kind of gain clarity, I started to realize that I would much prefer to be able to coach people. I would much rather prefer sitting down and having deep conversations and helping people understand their mindsets and self-limiting beliefs. So as I got older, the dream of becoming a pop star or an actor kind of fell through because it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And I think that it's really important for us to just keep asking ourselves why. And that's why I absolutely love the idea of working with people as a coach. I love the idea of people having coaches and therapists and people who can be mentors to ask questions. Honestly, you want someone who has an unbiased opinion, because a lot of times when you're working with people who may be family members or loved ones or a mentor in a certain field, usually they're going to guide you in the direction that they want you to go. So a mentor will probably guide you down a similar path to their own, because they might have found success and happiness. So they believe if they guide you down this path towards the goal that they were chasing, that you will find the same things that they found, which isn't always true. Same thing with family members. Maybe your mom wants you to have kids and settle down in a house in the same town as them. So they're going to guide you towards a goal that gets you towards the thing that they want. You close by, you having a family, whatever their goals are. I think it's really important to work with someone who is unbiased, who wants you to really have that moment of clarity where you really do find what works for you. As a coach, that's what I want to do for people. And I love to kind of sit down and have that why discussion. And sometimes it means that the clarity that you thought you were living in wasn't actually clarity. It was just you following the rules that someone told you you had to follow. Sometimes we have to break that and kind of put pieces back together and really get deep into the why you want the things that you want and the things that you do. Really start to put those together, because if you don't, like I said before, it's a long road that you're going on. And at the end of it, if the goals that you've set for yourself because you think that's what you want don't bring you to happiness, a lot of your life's journey kind of walked you to a place where now there's some regret that might be building up. There's some disappointment that's sitting there. And I don't want people to get to that point. I want people to have the conversation of why? But what if I did this? And then kind of uncover why you wouldn't want to do that. Maybe you want a really nice house because you want to be able to impress your friends. Why is that important to you? And keep digging into that and saying, do I really want friends that I have to have a huge fancy house, a super expensive car, and a job that makes me tons of money but makes me miserable? Are those the friends I want to have? Those are important questions that you want to ask yourself. So as you're going through and working with someone and uncovering your whys, I think that it will bring a lot of clarity, but also like break down some of the things that might have been so clear and sitting in your reality as if it's just the truth of the world. And it's a journey that you have to take. And sometimes it means breaking down. And I've been on that journey, thankfully. I brought a lot of clarity to myself. I think it's a forever journey. So the more comfortable you become with asking yourself repetitively, why, especially when you're, like I said at the very beginning of this video, in a place where it just seems like things are not working out. Why is all this clarity that I have not moving me towards my goals? Why is this thing that I think I'm supposed to be doing not bringing me clients? Why is this thing that I'm doing not bringing me happiness? Like, if the things you are doing are not bringing you the things that you want or you think you want, there's some deeper digging that you need to do. And as a coach, that's something that I would love to do with people. So if you're interested in working with me as a coach, feel free to reach out to me. You can follow me on one of my social platforms, which is Drummond Culture, pretty much across the board, or you can send me an email at lifecoachdrummond@gmail.com. And I would love to talk to you about maybe how I can help you move closer towards your own happiness and more clarity in the goals that you have. But hopefully you all enjoyed this video. I'm going to try my best to keep posting stuff to this YouTube channel, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.